マカオにいるリリのストーリーを書き、世界中のファンから映画のアイデアを募っていたハリウッド女優イザベル・チェスターのもとに脚本を提出した。
So the story is about a former famous Japanese actress who still has a lot of fans in the Greater China region. And so she comes to Macau to meet a middle-aged fan and to try to recover some of the fame that she lost. But in the process, she gets her daughter kidnapped, and it becomes a tragedy. It becomes a mystery thriller.
Award-winning Japanese actress.
Sea of Mirrors é o nome da segunda longa-metragem de Thomas Lim e mais uma vez tem Macau como pano de fundo. Nascido em Singapura e atualmente a viver em Los Angeles, Thomas Lim estreou em Macau um filme que desafia os cânones convencionais do cinema.
So it was completely filmed on the iPhone. So every single shot was filmed on the iPhone, including I had 2 shots of like pictures, just photographs. In order for the whole film to be on the iPhone, I used the iPhone to film the photograph, so as not to use a JPEG file or anything. So everything was filmed on the iPhone. And the reason I did that was because I knew it was going to be a low-budget film, so I started filming even before I had the full budget. And that's usually the way I do it, because I don't like to wait too long to start filming. And since it was low budget, I didn't want to avoid the fact that it was low budget. I wanted to use it to benefit the film. And so I decided that I would use a special camera to create a talking point for everybody to talk about the film. It was a challenge to shoot on the iPhone because the range, iPhone is a weaker camera, obviously, than an actual film camera. So the range for the colors and for the aspect ratio and all that is quite limited. But I think shooting on the iPhone has benefited me all the way. Collaborators are curious and interested, audiences are curious, so that's benefited me a lot. Because in Asia, very few people shoot on the iPhone. I kind of think like in terms of the look of the picture, I think the audience would be pleasantly surprised that it looks pretty good on the big screen even.
O filme teve estreia em Macau no dia 24 de maio na Cinemateca Paixão e volta hoje, dia 29, a ser exibido.
Well, Macau has always been a very special place to me. I've made 2 feature films so far, and both I've made them in Macau. Somehow Macau is my filmmaking home. I've known Macau for 15 or 16 years now. The first time I was here was 2002. Now it's 2019, so it's 16 years. I did theater projects in Macau before, and then I lived in Macau before, and I created my first film, Roulette City, and now Sea of Mirrors in Macau. I've always thought that, other than having like personal emotional attachments to Macau, I've always thought that Macau looked really good on screen. So it has like a film look. Because it's got texture, so the streets has got a lot of texture. So everywhere you look, it feels that it's got character. The streets got character. Some cities are really new and really smooth and really glossy. Macau is not like that.
A primeira longa de Thomas Lim, Roulette City, estreou em 2012. Nos planos está já a terceira para completar a trilogia de Macau.
I want to go deeper into my connection with Macau for the third story. Like I said, I've known Macau for 16 years now. When I first came in 2002, the look of Macau was completely different than today. So a little bit about that and how I got to know Macau. It's not going to be my story, but I'm going to create a story to represent what I feel towards Macau. The market in Macau is really small, so we cannot just think about Macau audience. We have to think about Macau audiences and beyond. A lot of Macau filmmakers, especially when they're very young, they do a very particular story about Macau that the outside audience find it difficult to relate to. So the outside audience may not be curious at first look. I think this curiosity of the outside audience at first look is very important, so that you lead them in to the story you really want to tell. The way I do it is, I know international audience or international people know that Macau is a casino city. I know a lot of Macau filmmakers try to avoid that as a topic, but I use that. Again, you have to use what you have. So I use the fact that everyone knows that Macau is a casino city to invite them into my story. Once they come into my story is not about casinos. My story is not about gambling. But then the backdrop of my story is the casino city, which is what international audience know. From the outside, Macau looks very glittery. It looks like a very rich place. It looks like a place full of fun and rich people and glamour and egos. So I try to use that for my second film.
Depois das projeções na Cinemateca Paixão, Sea of Mirrors poderá vir a estar em exibição nos cinemas da Galaxy.